there once again, attacking him afterwards after the match. Other than that, it was a good way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Let's go on to the next part of the show. AJ Styles and Logan Paul confrontation. Now it was in New York City. Now Logan Paul, him and AJ Styles, they got a few going on. Andrew Schultz was called out and by Logan Paul. Now Logan Paul, he did and saw Andrew Schultz after Andrew Schultz didn't tell Logan Paul what he wanted to hear. Logan Paul cut a great promo as well, stating that he told The Rock his soul is for sale, saying John Cena took him 20 years to realize that nice guys always finish last. He told Cody Rhodes that he was a dummy for not taking The Rock, the final boss, up on his deal. And then AJ Styles came out. He called out Logan for a fight. Logan went out the ring, and that was it. And of course, AJ and Andrew Schultz raised their hands in the ring. Good segment though. Next part of the match, the match was LWO versus the New Day. New Day haven't had a match in weeks. However, it was a tornado tag team match, not just any old tag team match. So other than that, though, I definitely see things going good. Now it says that the heel team of New Day definitely had control in the match, but as LWO was coming back, we had a masked man come in. He attacked Rey Mysterio with a German suplex that allowed New Day to get the win, and we know that was no other than Mr. Chad Gable. Thank you. But that was a good match, though. Next up, we had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, he cut a segment on John Cena, telling John Cena he is the captain now. If he said a 17th title run for John Cena at WrestleMania will not happen because Cody Rhodes is not going to let it happen. He is running the show around here. He's the WWE champion. Called John a moron. It's crazy, though. But other than that, though, this is good. Definitely good, though. But I will say this too. It was good that he said about Cena, but other than that, I felt like we kind of heard this already. I know they had to keep Cody Rhodes out there for the Netflix thing, good for Netflix and Raw, but Cody Rhodes kind of said this already, and he said this on SmackDown, but I'll speak more about this later. Next match was Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez, #1 contendership for the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Whoever wins this match will go on to face the champion, Lyra Valkyria, in a match at a later date. I believe next week, if not the week after. This match was not, I get what they was going with the story, but the whole New Day interfering, Judgment Day interfering, got the day wrong. Didn't seem too much. It was pretty much Bayley. We knew she was going to lose. And that was it. Raquel Rodriguez, she looked strong, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the match, one of my favorite matches of the night. But I get it. They have to big up Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Intercontinental Championship title picture. But Raquel Rodriguez did defeat Bayley, and she will move on to face Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. All right, we got a segment here. This was an interview of Michael Cole interviewing the new WWE Women's World Champion, will be Io Sky, off winning the match last week, defeating previous champion Rhea Ripley. Now, however, Bianca Belair came out. She was the Elimination Chamber winner. Now, it says here that Bianca apologized if Rhea Ripley felt disrespected by last week, but she wasn't going to let Rhea Ripley anyone put hands on her without a receipt. Then Rhea Ripley came out. They both had their choice of words. They was ignoring Io Sky, pushing her out the way. Bianca was saying, let's go at it right now. Rhea Ripley saying, you're hiding behind Jade and Naomi. Mind your own business. Rhea Ripley told Bianca she came out there last week during my match, defending my women's world title against Io. It was a distraction, and it was crazy. After Io was getting pushed in the face by both Bianca and Rhea, Io came back. She slapped both women, and she was just going off, cursing in her language. But it was good. Io let her know that she's not to be fooled with or to be disrespected with, and that ended that segment. The main event we got here: CM Punk, the best in the world, versus the visionary Seth Rollins. Match of the night, without question. Both these men went at it. The only thing I did not like about this match, it was a good match. They kept going on. They kept doing each other's. They did each other's finishers. Not a big fan of that all the time. And they also had kickouts after each other hit the finisher. GM Punk had like 2, 3 GTSs on Seth. Seth kicked out, right? And when he did that, we was like, "What's going on? What's the whole thing with that?" So that was interesting. Then Seth Rollins did the stomp. He did the STF. He did the GTS, and CM Punk did the stomp as well. CM Punk also kicked out. Turning point of matches when Seth Rollins had hit Punk with a GTS. He was at the end of the cage near the door with his back turned. We just heard a crowd, a big noise. Who? No other than the YTC, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He came out. He wanted those receipts. He was ready to give Seth Rollins that work for what he did at the Royal Rumble with not one but 2 stops to take Roman out. And Roman said on his social media that he was coming with receipts, and yet he did do that. He indeed did that. And he gave Seth a spear, gave him a Superman punch, and he gave him a stomp. I mean, Seth was not expecting to see Roman Reigns. It looked like he saw a ghost when he saw Roman. But Roman, he definitely gave that man that work.
He's at the Rumble, and then he stomped Reigns' head into a steel steps at the Rumble as well. And now another stomp.
And that's what he did. He gave that man that work for real.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son.
Go.
And not only gave that work to Rollins, but gave it to Punk. He saw Punk being helped by Paul Heyman. He also gave CM Punk a spear, and it was the YTC standing in the middle of the ring tall while Rollins and Punk were down. So that was interesting, guys. And that's pretty much was it for Monday Night Raw. A lot of interesting stuff going on for Monday Night Raw. I will say that very good show. Madison Square Garden, you know they got to do a BIG over there. Shout out to New York Madison Square Garden fans. It's always memorable moments there. So we got to keep that in mind too. So they was destined to put on a great show. Now, my rating on Monday Night Raw for March 10th in Madison Square Garden, I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it was a solid show. Some things I did not like. Some things I did like. We'll get into that soon. Definitely going to talk about it. We're going to get into the what went right, what went wrong. But I definitely have some stuff I had to talk about. Other than that, though, you guys let me know, what do you think of this recent episode of Monday Night Raw? Now, it's definitely interesting what happened with this episode. Definitely interesting what people had to say. Definitely interesting to say the least. But let's see what people are saying about this upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw. Let's see what people are saying around the community. You guys know you can always check that out. All right, let's see what people are saying. People are saying about Monday Night Raw, the review, we got 77% give it an A, 11% give it a B, 5% give it a C, and 7% give it a D or F. That's shocking. I don't think it was bad enough to get D or F, but teach his own. But let's go on to what went wrong with Monday Night Raw. What went wrong with this show in this episode? Let's see what was the issue here. All right. What went wrong with Monday Night Raw? We'll say Cody Rhodes' promo was kind of cringe. I kind of felt like he was repeating himself from Friday Night SmackDown. Kind of said this already prior. I was not a big fan of that. That's just me. I was not big on that, but that just wasn't it. And it's like Cody was trying a little bit too hard.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? You just made the list.
All right, made the list on that one. Another thing I did not like, that I like about this here, um, too many finishers, kickouts. I like the match as a whole. It was too many finisher kickouts between Seth and Punk. I had an issue with that. I thought that if when CM Punk hits GTS once, twice, put him down. Seth Rollins hits a stump once, twice, put him down. Once he's had a finisher, it was too many kickouts. Kind of remind me of All Elite Wrestling. That's what they do over there. Don't bring that over here, guys. WWE. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because if you bring that AEW stuff over here and that nonsense to WWE, you're just gonna get hit with this.
No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So I was not a fan of that either. Also, I get what they was doing here. I talked about this earlier, but the match overall was not all that great. It was it was like kind of quick. But I get it. They want to make Raquel look strong, but at least put some more thought into it, I guess.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
But that's another thing I saw. But let's move on to what went right with Raw. What's the things that went right with this current episode of Monday Night Raw? But I will say another thing I did like. We gotta talk about it. Roman Reigns returning for Punk and Rollins with Cinema. I like how he snatched Rollins out the cage, strong arm him. And if you think about it, while he got Seth Rollins, the way he snatched him out the cage, which we know is one of the ways to win the match, at the same time, he screwed over CM Punk. He screwed Rollins and Punk at the same time. Punk did lose, but Seth did not pin him or submit him. He was snatched out the cage by Roman. So Roman screwed both of them. And I thought that was great cinema, though. So that is a plus in my book.
Yeet.
So that's one thing I did like about Raw. I like the Logan Paul segment too. It's a great setup for him and AJ Styles. AJ Styles near retirement. He could help, work with Logan Paul, who's a superstar. And if Logan were to defeat AJ or put in a great match, that would make Logan look good too to get over a veteran like AJ. It sucks that AJ has to put him over at his expense, but that's more likely what it's headed to. But I do like the story between AJ Styles and Logan Paul, nonetheless.
Yeet.
All right, that's all I have for what went wrong and what went right with Raw. Let's talk about current news, shall we? Did you guys know that Seth Rollins on the WWE website, he is no longer listed as Seth Freaking Rollins, which was nicknamed for years. He's only Seth Rollins. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's only his name from now on. He's no longer called Seth Freaking Rollins. I didn't call him that no way, but that's one quick news. Another quick part of news, we want to talk about too. He also talked about Becky Lynch. Now he did an interview recently. He spoke on Becky Lynch, and he also spoke on when he retired. Now let's see you say when he retired. Let's see what according to the interview. This was on Fan Sports Radio. He said, "I'll be 39 in May. 45 maybe. Really sounds all right to me. I think it's going to depend on what I do in the next few years, as far as outside of WWE or behind the scenes in WWE. Both of those things are appealing to me. So just got to figure out what feels good, what feels like. But I feel like my body's I feel good right now. I feel very good. So he plans retiring in 6 years. And also speaks on Becky Lynch as well, like I said. But this is a part of the interview that he speaks on his wife, the man, Becky Lynch.
I mean, Becky's been back since the birth. I mean, she won the title. She's been doing great. She was awesome. She took a few months off. She did some television and film projects, and so she's gearing up to get ready to come back. Don't know when that's going to happen just yet, but I mean, she is active. Yes, that I will say. She is not retired. She's not mentioned anything about retirement. There are future plans for her. And
so he speaks on that as well. Also, guys, forgot to mention too, I did mention the whole Logan Paul AJ Styles feud incoming. On this week here, on this week on Raw Recap, the brand new show that I spoke about before. This week, I think it was Seth Rollins last week. Now it's AJ Styles that was on this current episode of Raw Recap. He actually speaks on this whole thing with Logan Paul right now, of course, in character. But this is what AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, let's see what the man soon had to say about his upcoming feud with Logan Paul. Because this, like I said, could definitely go somewhere. I could definitely see some seeds being planted for a great feud. Now, I know AJ Styles is supposed to be going towards Braun Breaker, but let's see what AJ Styles had to say on Raw Recap. Let's check it out here.
The phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And now joining us from backstage at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. AJ, we just watched you. You seem to desperately want to hurt Logan Paul. What is it about Logan Paul that you feel deserves a beating?
Well, I feel like it's me and the rest of the country wanting to hurt Logan Paul. So I'm just trying to do everyone a favor and get it done as quick as possible. Get him out of our ring.
You say, I was going to say, you say get him out of your ring. That's what I was curious about, right? Because the conversation is that we all have had is that Logan Paul is good at this. He's better at this than we thought he would be. He's good at getting a reaction from the audience. He's good at moves. He's good at matches. But does he respect wrestling? Do you think Logan Paul respects pro wrestling?
It's like giving your kids everything they want before, they even work for anything. They're spoiled, right? And I would say it's kind of the same thing with Logan Paul. He thinks he can just come to a WWE ring, not a independent wrestling ring like the rest of us had, or maybe at least the PC to train a little bit. He has done none of that and thinks he belongs in our ring. We've paid our dues. We've done what we've had to do to get to where we're at. Logan Paul hasn't. So we're going to find out how bad he wants it. I'm going to stay on him. I'm going to stay on him until either he's going to fight back and do something about it, or he's going to leave.
All right, that was AJ Styles speaking on the upcoming feud that we got going on with Logan Paul. But that's current news. What we're right, what we're wrong. But let's switch gears, guys. We got to go to the bonus round here, and we're going to talk about CM Punk, guys. And let's talk about what's going on and why this man is hated so much in WWE. All right. So we're going to talk about why is CM Punk the most hated. Recently, we know that CM Punk has been going back and forth. He just had a match with Seth Rollins. We know those two just recently had a match. They had a steel cage match. We know this feud is going on for quite some time. But the thing about it is, Seth Rollins hates CM Punk for no apparent reason. Now I know that he has heat with him, depending on because of the past, because CM Punk didn't help him train when Seth Rollins was young, but Seth wanted to be a wrestler when he was very young. I get all of that, Seth Rollins, but you don't have to hold a grudge against CM Punk. And I know he's also mad because of how CM Punk left. He talked about him, talked about the company. CM Punk has right his wrongs by coming back to WWE back in 2023. He's trying to make amends and make things right. And Seth still holds that grudge against him. But that's what makes the feud so much better. That's what puts on the great things between these two men, because there is animosity there. There is smoke between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. It's always smoke there. But because he has so much hate for CM Punk, that's what makes the whole feud better. It's kind of like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Those two didn't like each other at the time, but they had the great chemistry. And we got to admit, Seth and Punk, these two don't like each other. It's great chemistry. Definitely get great chemistry, and we cannot deny that at all. We can't. We just can't deny that at all. That's what it comes down to. Both these guys are working well together, and they put out great matches. They definitely do that. We can't deny that either. These men have been doing a thing. They've been shutting it down. They had a great steel cage match on Monday Night Raw. These men put in the work. They're both workhorses. Seth, a great workhorse. CM Punk, a great workhorse. Contrary popular belief, whether you like Seth or not, or whether you like CM Punk or not, we know I don't like Seth. I don't like this dude. Fool, clown. I don't like Seth. But I will say too that I do like the work rate of Seth Rollins, and I like Punk. Some people may not like Punk, but that's how it goes. These men put in work. There's no denying that. These men always put in great work with one another. And CM Punk, Seth Rollins is just the chemistry's there. But when you see a character has so much hate for another, that's what makes the feud good, and it makes CM Punk look good. That's what Seth Rollins don't realize. When you have that much animosity towards somebody, you're making them look that much better. That's what Seth does not realize, and we see that. We've been seeing that. These guys are definitely smoke there with these men. There's no denying that at all. But it makes the feud like fire. And we've seen that plenty of times. We know CM Punk is one of the most hated men in the industry. He's kind of up there with Hulk Hogan because Seth Rollins don't go. He not gonna go for CM Punk's garbage. He don't like him, and he gonna stand on that. Seth will not ignore the animosity that he has for CM Punk. Now, like I said, when you have that much hatred for someone in wrestling, it puts out great matches all the time. These two have not missed the match they had on Raw Netflix debut, and this two great matches on Raw. You cannot. It's some things you just cannot teach. Chemistry, if factors, you cannot teach, and I think that's something that Seth and Punk both have. These men both know how to work very well together. Even though they don't like each other, they do what's right for business. And if you guys remember, CM Punk, he told Seth Rollins, "This is my house, MFer." That's what he said. Now let's move on to Roman Reigns, another person who lately has a very strong disdain for CM Punk. Now we know back then around Survivor Series, Roman Reigns was against the whole idea of having CM Punk be on his Survivor Series War Games team. But Paul Heyman insisted that we need Punk's help, and they had to shut down the new bloodline of Solo, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, which they did win. But CM Punk says it's a one-time deal to work with Roman, and he needed a favor from Paul that he still has not used yet. And that's what it's about. The whole thing between Punk and Roman comes down to the wise man. And as you see, he had receipts for CM Punk. And that's what Roman Reigns was saying the whole time. He's going to have receipts for people. And it's crazy how things have come all full circle. Because CM Punk, he got attacked in that match as well as Seth Rollins did. And Roman has smoke for Punk. Punk has not came after Roman like Seth did. So we got to keep that in mind too. But it makes things that much better. It just does. It made things very, very much better between these three men. And that's the thing. This is why this is going to work out fine. Very fine of this feud of these men here. Now, thing about it is, like I said, we knew that Roman Reigns was going to come back. We knew he was not going to just be down after what Seth Rollins did to him. We knew that, but we also knew not only was he coming for Seth Rollins, the number one guy, another guy he's coming for Roman Reigns. We got to keep that in mind. He was definitely going to come for Roman, and he did. He gave us a little warning. If you guys don't remember, what I on social media, Roman Reigns' X account, he said it here. Greatness is coming to Bologna and London. Your tribal chief has business to attend to. Receipts are coming. That man was not playing around when he said that, because he definitely handed out receipts. He definitely did that. He was not holding back on that. He gave receipts to both Punk and Rollins. And the reason I'm saying that because the animosity both these men have with Punk is going to lead to a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. Now we know Punk and we know Rollins and Roman got the issues dated back to the Shield days, but both of these men do not like Punk. And Punk really did not try to create any type of smoke with Seth or Roman. They just do not like this dude. And of course, Roman was mad also because CM Punk eliminated the Royal Rumble. Like, it's not every man for himself, Roman, but it proves that right there that, you know, CM Punk's so good that others focus on him and he's not even thinking about him. Like, he told Seth Rollins, "You've been thinking about me for 6 months. I haven't been thinking about you at all." And then we can add Drew McIntyre from last year. But Drew McIntyre, that feud is over. But last year, that was the same thing. Drew was focused on Punk so much. That's going to lead to this whole thing of WrestleMania 41 triple threat match. But Punk, he knows how to draw his opponents into him. And that's what makes Punk so unique with his character, everything. So this is going to be a good one. But other than that, you guys let me know what you think about it. We're talking about Raw results. We're talking about the March 10th episode, CM Punk vs. Seth Rollins is still cage match, guys. Check out the content here, Red Carpet Rain. And until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's O-U-T.
Something happened this weekend. And I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and